Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Scribes and Scrolls, the Candlekeep Mysteries, Book 4, A Deep and Creeping Darkness. This is Chapter 46, The Road to Vermeillon. And a long, long road it's been so far. Lots of wild and crazy stuff going on, unusual, weird things going on. We will get to you with a recap in just a moment. Just a reminder, if you notice that we're a little short on the announcements in the front end, it's because we've put a lot of the things that would normally be in the announcements are now in the pre-stream and during the break. So there's no need for me to talk about them. That said, I do have a couple things that I'm going to mention real quick. First off is that tomorrow night, the Dreadful Tales continues over on fortnerd.com with Arc 3, and I believe it's session 2 of that. But also over on Dice on Ice RPG, we had to delay it because of sickness. But tomorrow night is going to be the finale of our Curse of Strahd 3-year campaign. So you can choose which of the domains of dread you wish to visit in real time and check the other one out on VOD. Another thing, because I don't have a placard up on the edge yet. I just launched yesterday an intermittent just chatting show, just painting show. It doesn't have a name. It's just every once in a while I'm going to be jumping on. It could be at lunchtime. I might come on at 9 o'clock at night, or it might be on a Saturday or a Sunday morning or afternoon, but just doing little hangs. I hung out on Sunday for 2 hours and painted minis, had some lovely people stop by and we chatted, and it was fun. In fact, some of the people that were there are hanging out in chat tonight. So keep your eye out for that. Make sure you follow the channel and follow me at MTD_Jake on Twitter. Because I will always tweet out when I'm going to go live, if that's your thing. But we'll be doing a variety of stuff: crafting, mini painting, occasional product reviews, game prep. Who knows? So stop by and check that out. The only other thing that I want to mention before we get into our game here is, of course, what we always take time to advocate for mental health, because you matter. Your presence on this earth makes a difference. Whether or not you believe it, it is true. Maybe you're struggling, and that's okay. But we want you to know that you do not have to struggle alone. If you or someone you know is in need of mental health or other services, we encourage you to visit findahelpline.com. These helplines are available to you to provide confidential, non-judgmental space for free. They are staffed by supportive people who provide immediate support, counseling, and information. And anytime you need to, if you don't remember the URL, you can at any time in our chat just type !help like I just did. I have also added in takethis.org's resource page, which includes Find a Helpline, but there's a lot of other resources on there as well. We encourage you to bookmark those sites, save them for yourself, save them for a friend, and remember, you matter. All right. Dwight would be proud that we're getting to the game already, as we are, the domain tomes are coming in. The game, yeah. See, I don't know what to do now. I ended the
right.
I ended the announcement so fast. How do I do this? First off, I guess I should probably
Don't you say it's
Roll for
time for
initiative.
us to play some
we-
Dungeons
Did
and
I not
Dragons?
say that?
Do we have a title
did
for
not.
this episode?
I said that at the beginning.
I missed it.
It's the Road to Vermeillon, Chapter 6.
Okay.
I
Ooh.
feel
And
like
now-
we're a Pokemon episode now.
And now
Yes.
it's time to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Take my best guess on how to spell this.
best.
Best around.
So, our adventurers, the book club, along with the Royal Mining Consortium, have been making their way up the coast and down the Winding Waters River, along the southern edge of the Troll Peak Mountains to the town of Myrene, where after many small adventures along the way, you got to the town of Myrene, where you found a bit of respite, a bustling town in the foothills, as it were. You made your way to the local watering hole, the Bored Weasel, which turned out to be run by an elderly gentleman by the name of Lucas Grosvenor, who told you that he was actually at the town of Vermeillon up in the mountains some 70 years ago when disaster struck the mine and he lost his wife there. He's asked you to, 1, place some flowers on her grave, and 2, see if you can find the locket he stashed in the tree in the center of town. You also met the local town busybody, Astra Vorn. They are a delightful personality who runs the local florist stand, and also seems to just want to know. They want to know what's going on and who everybody is. Some of you sought food, some sought drink, some sought anonymity, others sought a bath. That is where we left off. It is still the 4th of Kythorn, the time of flowers. Summer is just beginning. Is there anything that you wanted to do? It's roughly based on the time you got to Myrene and the time you spent in the Bored Weasel and all of that. It's probably getting to be late afternoon. So is there anything you wanted to do specifically in the town of Myrene, Doc?
Question. Is it too late to get a mug from the mug club?
That was in Baldur's Gate, bro. Yes, it's too late.
We don't have time to go back.
All the way back to Baldur's Gate?
I just feel left out.
We can get a mug for you, bro.
No.
Doc, we can get.
Next
get a
time we
mug.
Vaughn,
What?
next time we go back, we'll get him a mug.
Everyone has one.
You should have
That's all.
I mean, I can always carve you something.
Hold on.
If you bring me
Yeah.
some tin, like if you were to get one of those silver cups or something equivalent, or a bronze, I could probably do some wood carvings around it.
Oh.
I mean,
we,
you
Doc,
just seem
you-
so sad,
Was
Doc.
was anybody else interested in going where they talked about getting the cold weather gear for up on the mountain?
Yeah, Kahlo,
I was
I
as
need
well.
I need sleeves. I don't
Well,
wear sleeves.
why don't we
often,
go
but-
see that halfling woman who sells quilts and,
And-
see
yeah.
what she cares for us?
Do we have a tavern for the night or anywhere to sleep, or are we just.
Here, I assume.
I assumed
Oi,
it was here.
Lucas, do you have rooms?
Yep, we got rooms. Bored Weasels, both a tavern and an inn.
See, we can get bored at the Bored Weasel.
Mhm.
Doc, that was a joke.
I see what you did there.
Thank you for explaining, because it wasn't funny. I'm glad you clarified, Tira.
Doc,
How
what would
about-
you do with a mug from the mug club anyway? You don't eat or drink or anything.
Would you put a flower in it? How about
You know.
this? We probably best to divide and conquer a bit. So Tira and Kahlo, why don't you go look at perhaps some cold weather gear? Vaughn, it can't hurt to have a couple drinks on the road, so perhaps you can look into provisions or picking up some. I'm sure Mijia would appreciate some mimosas. And Doc, if you really want to, we can go looking for a mug, and I'm happy to carve something for you.
No, it's okay. It won't be the same. But thank you.
But it'll be even more special because you will have actually a custom-made mug versus ours.
No, I know, but I'm already
dear.
different.
Oh, God.
Oh, heartbreaking.
We-
There like
Doc,
a
if you want
post
mug-
office that I can go to perhaps send a raven to Baldur's Gate to get a frickin' mug for Doc.
I mean,
Oh
we
my
just gotta do it with a
God.
I
smile.
don't know much about ravens. But they're
Carrier pigeon.
carrier pigeon.
Yeah.
A hawk?
Yeah.
Something that can carry a.
What is your
mug?
fixation with birds and mail delivery?
Okay, so fair. You know what? Absolutely fair. Things might be different. How would one send a letter to perhaps if you wanted to get in contact with someone at Baldur's Gate?
Well, generally, folks, if they have anybody they want to get letters to, they write them up, and next time we got somebody heading up the river or down the road, they pay a couple silver pieces and send their letters on with whomever. Now, can't rightly tell you the guarantee that those letters are going to arrive at their destination. Seems how, well, letter carriers get waylaid along the way and what have you.
Got it. Okay.
I've heard there's some folks what can magically communicate messages over long distances, but they
Yeah.
ain't got no business dealing with that.
I do. So I'll go looking around the market. Perhaps I can find some kind of sending stone or otherwise. That way I'm not bothering. Perhaps, perhaps this will be a blessing in disguise because I have a feeling we might need this to get in touch with Candlekeep a little bit sooner anyways.
Smart move.
So
Doc.
I'll go do that.
Yes,
Doc,
Warren?
I'm curious. You didn't show any interest or concern or care about the mug club or having a mug at all. Why now? What changed? What changed, man?
Doc is he's going to sort of look down for a minute. And he's going to say, Forn, have you ever looked around at all the people that you know and realized you're not the same? And that, in fact, maybe, just maybe, you're different from everybody you've ever met? When you think about that, and as you know, I have a lot of time to think because I don't sleep. Because sleeping, in hindsight, is actually a waste of time. You get a lot of thinking done when you're awake, but you have a lot of time to think when you don't sleep. And you realize that if you're alone, does that mean there's something wrong with you? And
Well,
then
Doc.
I realized that maybe if we all had something in common, that I wouldn't be alone. And that maybe I would be the same as other people.
You're not alone, Doc.
So, yeah, and Doc, no, first, I understand not completely. I can relate to what you're saying, number one. Second, think of sleep as a way of, for us who need it, a form of thinking while you're sleeping, kind of thinking quietly. Does that make sense? Thinking quietly, right?
Well, I am a doctor. I understand the conceptual need you folks have for sleep. I just am glad I don't need it because you get so much more thinking done when you're awake. And then when you're not sleeping, you can also do things like stare at people while they're sleeping.
Right? And you know, it's funny how everyone thinks they don't snore, but everyone does snore. Anyway,
It's true. Don't tell us.
you go ahead.
What?
Don't keep your
I know.
name out of my mouth, Doc, for that one.
Wait, what am I doing? I didn't say anything.
And you actually see Asteria starts blushing, probably for the first time ever. She looks.
Well, Kahlo, I think this is a good time to head off to the market. Let's go.
I've
we have a
already been starting to walk this whole time.
As Kahlo and Tira are escaping, Doc is going to say just slightly louder, but you already know that Tira snores, Vorn, because of the relations. Or
And
yeah.
And as Tira's walking out the door, and I'm gonna say, your hair and traps look great, and
Thank you, Vaughn. Your biceps are immaculate today. Fuck off, Doc. And I would just ba-dump out the swinging doors.
As we head out, I'm saying to you, Tira, he seems awfully fixated on the two of you. Do you think maybe he's lonely, or you should try setting him up with a nice young person?
I kind of laugh at first because it's just Doc being Doc. But then when Kahlo says, do you think he's lonely? Tira just kind of like, maybe you're right. I don't know if he's lonely that way, though, Kahlo. I think he's just lonely.
Oh. Doc and Vorn, I'm gonna sit as I'm talking to Doc. I'm gonna say, reach in my satchel and pull out my mug. It's a smaller mug. Tell you what, until you get a mug, we'll share this one. Deal? I mean, because you're not, you know?
Okay, Vorn. That's okay. I think it will be good. But do you want to hear a joke that I heard that you could use with Tira? I think she would really like it.
Yes, I would love to hear a joke. Yes, please.
Okay. I can't tell you where I heard it because it would betray a confidence.
Okay.
But when you're I don't know how to describe your relationship with Tira. Are you just relationing? Are you like boyfriend and girlfriend? Is there a term for it in Orcish that I don't know? Are you just like, I don't know. Could you describe, like, what should I?
We're getting to know each other, building trust.
Okay, that's very non-specific. But anyways, so when she's leaving, you can say, hey, Tira. And then, okay, so in this scenario, you be Tira and you're walking away and I'll be you.
Okay. Oi! I'm Tira. I have beautiful hair and a beautiful traps. And oi, go ahead. Hi, Tira. I'm Vorn. I hate to watch you leave, but I love to watch you walk away. Hold on. Let me get my giant sword.
Phenomenal. This is quality content.
Oh, Vorn.
Oh, Tira. Bashful goggles.
I'm Tira. This is how I show my affection. I try to be tough about it, but I'm really soft on the inside.
I'm literally waiting for Tyr to just walk up behind.
I'm Vorn, and I try and cover my emotions with goggles, but I am just
I forgot
pretending
something.
that we're all all my goggles are the exact same.
Oi, I think it's kind of hot of you, Vorn. In fact, I want to kiss you right now. Oi.
What the fuck are you two doing?
Asterius just slowly gonna shade into the shadows, not wanting to be here. I'll roll
Doc,
stealth. I'll roll stealth. I swear to God, Jake.
so Doc, you're part of the mug club, whether you actually have a mug or not, because deep down inside, we all love and care for you. And I know that being an artifact. Oh,
I inch over to where I was sitting on my bar stool, where you all notice now that there was a small bag that Tira left behind. She grabs the bag and slowly backs out of the board weasel, keeping a very close eye on Vorn and Doc, and just
Hey,
walks
Vorn!
outdoors again.
Vorn!
Very confident she'd be able to keep up with Kahlo.
Vorn! Oi, I'm Tira. I'm trying to be sneaky, but I have no stealth skills. Go
If
ahead.
you stand really still, they can't see you.
Oh my God.
I stand really still as I possibly can, while holding this big, version of a
Wow.
sword that is not a sword at all. It's just like a broom handle, giant broom.
Oh my God. Amazing.
What's happening?
Vorn Kahlo has made it like an additional 10 feet down the road. Tira jogs 3 steps and is caught up already.
I actually can walk very quickly, but I like a slow stroll.
I don't mind a stroll. We can stroll.
All right.
And Tira is just sort of like, ironically, has her sword over her shoulders,
Yep.
just like Vorn was pantomiming. And it's just like, it's nice to stroll sometimes. It's very pretty out here.
Yes, but one should enjoy the environment, not just push on by.
Yeah. It's nice to slow down sometimes. I mean, I'm sorry. Is that offensive?
Why would it be?
No reason. Anyway, it's very pretty.
Doc, do you really think I hide behind these goggles to cloud my emotions? Or to
Vorn,
hide from my emotions?
I think you're very sensitive. And I think in the past, you've been hurt. And I think you use the goggles as a way of shielding yourself from things that you might find difficult. Like a child who hides their eyes when they're afraid. It's as though because they can't see, no one else can see. Not that I'm comparing you to a child, but I'm just from a psychological perspective, it feels like you're using your eyes to protect yourself. And I don't know what happened in the past, but he's going to reach out and he's going to grab Vorn's shoulder and he's going to look down right in his eyes and he's going to say, "But Vorn, you're okay."
Warren looks up. He slowly put his goggles on as he was being super vulnerable. And he looks up and goes, "You're sure about that, Doc?"
You know I'm the smartest person you know, right?
Smarter than Mizia?
Yeah.
Mizia just looks over the. Mizia's not even wearing glasses, but just kind of looks like they're looking over their glasses, looking up from their book, and looking at the two of you. Just goes and turns the page.
Welcome to the chat, Dwight. Dwight popped in, everybody.
Vorn is going to, Doc is going to lean into Vorn, and he's going to do his version of a whisper, which is just his normal voice, and he's going to say, "This is the part where Mizia says, 'Yes, yes.'"
Look over the shoulder.
Are you parroting?
Ha,
Mizia does not respond.
So
She
he's
said
gonna
in her
he's gonna
mind.
he's gonna squeeze he's gonna squeeze Vorn's shoulder, and he's going to say, "We are the sum of our experiences. We are who we've always been." And then he's gonna look down and think for a long moment, and he's going to say, "But that isn't who you have to be if you don't want." Because we're always the person we want to be. You just have to recognize it. And then he's going to squeeze Vorn's shoulder again. And he's going to say, "You're okay, Vorn."
thanks, Doc. It's good to know.
and Doc is going to walk over to the board weasel without saying anything to anybody else. He's going to turn around and he's going to stare at the wall.
But wait, Doc, and I'm going to quickly walk up to Doc just for a second.
Yeah?
Doc, turn around for a second. Thank you. I needed to hear that more than you think I did. I got a question for you.
Okay.
And I'm going to unroll one of the pictures and I'm like, where did you get this idea from? And it's like a strange exotic picture that Doc drew of relations that looks like something out of like deep Kama Sutra, like real deep.
And that's where we're going to cut to Kahlo
Please,
and Tira
thank you.
walking in the market.
Please.
As Doc's eyes kind of widen, it cuts immediately to, yep.
I mean, Doc drew it. He's not.
Yeah, so I was asking.
Gotcha.
No.
I thought he was born with doing a private research.
No, I was asking how did you draw this picture. That's all.
Gotcha.
So
There we go.
Kahlo and Tira, you are walking through the bustling market.
I am looking for the stand with a halfling who makes quilts. Oh yeah, some good market music.
Yes.
To say this, I don't know what this track is. It sounds
I
like you
feel
just went
like
into an
we are
Italian
in
bistro.
Like a polka festival.
I would like
Mixed
to
with
get
an
a,
Italian bistro.
I would like to get a croissant, please.
So you are making your way through the market, and you do
Trundling.
you see a variety of people selling everything from various produce, fruits and vegetables, greens, a lot of that kind of stuff. You see stands where people are selling basic gear, adventuring gear. Pretty much like the most basic stuff. Like there's people that are selling rope and shovels and pickaxes, canteens and mirrors, pretty much anything like that.
Kahlo slows down to look at their fishing supplies and stuff a little bit.
Okay.
Kahlo slows down. How can you tell? Tira, I imagine, would just be walking already very slowly and kind of talking to Kahlo and turn, and Kahlo looks right behind. Tira would be just looking for a place that has like basic like sleeves and like tunics that are maybe a little bit thicker. She wants a hoodie essentially, and maybe a poncho. Perhaps a blue hoodie that has a certain logo on it that you can buy at spring.com/mini-terrain domain. All right.
Type exclamation point merch in the chat.
Hey.
It's almost like I planned for that.
Yeah.
I didn't. So you are looking at, Kahlo, you're looking for fishing gear.
It's just more window shopping. She's planning to go eventually, like she said, to get cold weather gear, but
sidetracked by the
yes,
the fishing gear. Yeah, as you're kind of looking, you do see that there's some very basic nets and fishing rods. They're sort of these varnished bamboo poles that are really long.
Ooh.
And
How much?
there's some hooks and line and things like that that are available. And you just see a lot of that kind of stuff. Like I said, basic adventuring gear. So it's nothing to write home about, but it looks like it probably gets the job done.
She'll start asking a lot of questions about their materials and where they fish around here, and if there's good fishing in the river, and sort of just going on for a while, getting more and more sidetracked.
I'm gonna have you make a performance roll.
Okay.
See how this goes over.
5.
Yep.
Tira, make a perception check.
Can do. Oh, well, that's 12.
You can tell that roll me a Brooke, roll me a d20.
Okay. 11.
It's counting
Okay.
a lot.
I'm using 1985 Games Deck of Stories, their NPC deck, to figure out who the
Nice.
shopkeep is.
Oh,
Awesome.
You see this particular shopkeep is a human woman, looks to be in her mid to late 50s. She has this look of somebody who just looks like they're perpetually tired. And Tira, the look you see on her face is she's about getting irritated with Kahlo's non-stop questioning.
Yeah.
Yep.
She hasn't
I
said
would-
anything,
Okay.
but you can see that she's nervously reaching out. She gives this very polite as she reaches out and
Now,
just
what about this one? Did you make these yourself?
every time you touch something, she and she reaches out and carefully readjusts it so it's nice and neat.
Hey, Kahlo, could you
Yes.
come help me over here real quick? I was looking
Oh.
for something in everybody's size that I could bring back to keep everybody warm in the
All
mountains.
right. Well, thank you for your time. Have a nice day.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of wink at the shopkeep.
Start that way.
Not in a weird way. Damn. Okay.
As okay,
You owe me
so
one.
quick question:
Yeah.
is the music loud for anybody else?
Yeah,
It's a smidge loud.
It's kind of loud.
It's a little adventurous for a day in the market.
It's upbeat music. I was more concerned about the volume of the music because I can't tell between.
Yeah, it's a little loud.
And that's also a question for chat because I don't know how well the music. I know it comes through louder for us. I just don't want it to be a distraction. That was our montage music, is what that was.
Yay. Good.
So Kahlo and Tira, go ahead and make investigation checks for me.
Oh, Jesus. 5.
16.
Nice.
That's where all those questions come in handy.
Who got the 16 and who got the 5?
Me, 16.
Okay. So you see, Kahlo, that Tira is looking around, kind of, for the most part, one of the tallest people here. Tira is looking over top of people and looking around, trying to find this market stall that might sell cold weather gear, parkas and jackets and blankets and stuff. And Kahlo, you realize that Tira is standing about 10 feet in front of the very place she's looking, but not looking behind her where this thing is.
I'll just walk up beside you and say, you know, sometimes it helps to look at things from all directions.
What do you? And then Tira like looks like stands at like a weird angle, like crouches down and looks, and is like, I don't know what you mean.
Well, I meant more on a general philosophical level, but also turn around.
Oh, I'll be damned. Thank you, Kahlo. General philosophical level, I'm good at looking at shit from other angles or
That's
something.
a good thing.
Yeah, thank you. And I kind of like am wondering
they said
what
they could make something in my size, so let's
Oh.
find out if that was an exaggeration or not.
I suppose we'll find out the limits of their sizes, eh? And I kind of stand up tall and I knock on Kahlo's shell and I walk over to the stall.
All right, you walk up to a stall where you do see a variety of brightly colored, as as well as some not so brightly colored, some more neutral colors of, there's blankets and shawls, quilts, parkas, there's satchels and backpacks and things like that, and then a variety of other knickknacks and things, or not immediately identifiable items on the stand table here. You see there is a halfling woman with shoulder length curly black hair, and her face just beams when she sees you approach. She's sort of in the back of the stall, and she's working a there's a few items of equipment there. You see like a basket with some various knitting needles and sewing equipment, but she's currently sitting on a stool and she's working a loom and passing the shuttle back and forth as she's weaving a blanket. And she doesn't even miss a beat as she's working this thing with her hands and her feet, smiling brightly as the two of you walk up. Ah! Hello! And welcome!
I love her already. Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Right, well, one moment, and she does a couple quick passes, and she sort of takes the shuttle and sets it aside and stands up and sort of... Well, hello and welcome. I'm Bruva Akmenos, and welcome to my stand. Now, I can only assume... A blanket?
Something like that. We were talking to Aster Vorn about going up into the mountains.
What a dear.
They said to come and talk to you about keeping warm up there.
Right, well, you say you're heading up into the mountains. Well, you certainly look like the type that could handle yourself in the mountains, so it'll be none of my business to worry about whether or not that's a good place for you to go. Far be it from Bruva to tell others what they should and shouldn't do. But if you're looking for blankets or cold weather gear, if you need packs, and a few other random things I have here to, comforts of the mind and things to keep idle hands busy. Is there anything in particular you are looking for?
Sleeves, please. If you have any long sleeve like tunics or anything I could wear.
I should say you could do with some sleeves if you're heading up into the mountains.
Yeah, I mean, I can handle the cold just fine, but that's a different kind of cold. I'm sure I don't need to tell you.
Well, the cold of the mountains, even this time of year, it can be pretty biting at night. Or so I hear. I've not actually been up into those mountains. But I've heard tell of how cold it can be, and in the winter time, forget about it. I can set you up with a few items here. I'm looking at you and I'm thinking something in a not so bright, maybe a dull blue, something maybe of a midnight blue. That would do really nice for you. Maybe something with the hood. Sleeves, of course, as you said. And the whole time you say this, she's got the items that are on display, but as anybody who's been to some kind of a market, she's immediately looking under the tables and sorting through stuff. And she looks at you and, all right, you'll need something a little bit bigger. You're broad of shoulder, but you don't look to be wearing much in the way of armor, so no need to take that into consideration. Okay. And she sets a handful of items. It's basically 3 garments that would sort of make up a cold weather gear set, which is a long fur-lined cloak, a long-sleeved, almost like a jacket, and then a separate hood that attaches or detaches from the cloak.
Nice. Yeah, that looks terrific. Thank you. And I kind of like I would like turn over. I imagine like it's that light blue on one side and sort of just fur lined on the other. She would turn it to the light blue side and is just like, and I think you definitely nailed my color.
Wonderful. Well, this full set I can give to you for it's 7.5 gold pieces.
Yeah,
I
can do
stitched
that.
all of this myself, I should say.
Oh, it's
Dyed the
fine.
wool.
Fine work. Do you happen to have the same thing, about the same size, maybe a little bit smaller in black?
In black.
Maybe quite a bit smaller.
I don't know that the smaller size is going to fit you.
It's not for me.
A gift. Wonderful. And she kind of messes about underneath and pulls out a couple of other pieces. Basically similar, slightly different style. More of a charcoal gray than a black.
Right. And slightly bigger than me in gray. Really, really small. Like drow sized. Purple.
Drow?
I don't know. Half elf sized in green. I can pay for all of it, and I would like plop down a little pouch of gold that would have, oh god, math, 37.5 gold pieces in it.
So you're buying for everybody but Doc?
I'm buying for everybody.
I didn't hear you
5.
say. Oh, I missed one of them apparently.
Listen here, don't mess with a math teacher. I got multiplication down cold.
As you start rattling off, after she sets the charcoal gray one up there, she's looking at you and saying, "Oh, so you're buying 5 sets of cold weather gear? A regular adventuring party? I'll tell you what.
I'll not to give you too much, but I nod over at Kahlo. I'm like, her measurements might be a little bit different.
Are you buying for her too?"
Well, of course. She's part of the crew.
Oh, that's very sweet of you, Tira.
Well, since you're buying so much, for the 5, I can do a little bit of a deal for 6 gold apiece. So I'll give you all 5 sets for 30 gold.
Oh.
It's gonna be a little bit more for your friend, and I mean no offense by that.
No. More
Um,
material.
I think I might have to customize something, put a couple pieces together. You know what? And she starts looking at you, Kahlo. Pay me no mind. As she reaches behind the counter and she grabs a couple things, you see her pull on a leather apron and she ties it around, and then she grabs something and walks over to you, Kahlo, and it's a small wooden step stool. And she immediately pulls out a length of measuring tape, and she kind of stands up on the stool, reaches as high as she can, and just lets it to the ground, makes a note, and just starts moving all around, picking up the stool, moving around you.
Slowly looking at her.
Tira's laughing, and Tira's taking a little nip off of a flask, and she's like, Kahlo, look at you. You're the belle of the ball.
Boomer's like looking out to try to see what's going on.
If you don't mind my asking. And she gives just a light rap on your shell with her knuckle. You don't rightly feel cold or heat through your shell, do you?
I mean, it's part of me, but it does offer a lot of protection, yeah.
Well, I can save a bit on the work and get it done faster. Not compromising on quality. Brova does not
like
compromise
leg
on
warmers
quality.
and arm warmers.
I was thinking more of...
Like flash dance.
Leg warmers.
Flash dance
Leg
turtle.
warmers. That's interesting. I was thinking more of something that would fit around your neck and around the shell and drape across you like a shawl almost.
Oh, that sounds real nice.
I think I could combine a couple of pieces I already have here. And I could have it ready for you by tomorrow morning, if that is late morning, if that is sufficient
Can
for
we wait
you.
for tomorrow? I'll look at Tira.
Do I? Yeah.
I mean,
We've
it's
waited
already
so
like
long.
4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh
Yeah, of course we can wait. We're not going tonight.
I can do that for you for 10 gold. It's the
Okay.
equivalent of about 2 sets of these.
If it's too much, I do have
No.
10 gold.
Hey. And I would kind of like, hey now. And I would plunk exactly like 4 little stacks of gold. And then I would actually add 5 more. And I'm like, thank you for being so accommodating.
Well, thank you for your business. Now, as I said, we'll have that ready for you. Did you have a color preference?
Kahlo.
Do you have anything in a yellow?
I do have a yellow. It's more of a goldenrod, not so bright.
Oh, that sounds real nice.
It'll be a very deep yellow, but I think it'll be very nice for you. So very well, I will have those ready for you in the late morning tomorrow. Is there anything else that you need or that I might be able to help you out with?
Boomer, do you need a little turtleneck?
Oh my god! A turtleneck for Boomer!
She looks over and she says, "You know what?" And she goes over to her bag by where the loom is. She goes into this bag that it straight up looks like a tote that you would get from like donating to NPR. And there's a bunch of yarn and stuff in there, and she kind of digs around a little bit, and she pulls out an orange, almost like a burnt orange colored length of some project that was in the midst of being worked on. She makes a couple quick snips and ties off a bit, whatever it was, undoes the knitting needle and brings it over and reaches up to where Boomer is and just puts a little scarf of this burnt orange around Boomer.
God.
Right.
I love it so much. I love
Here you
it
go,
so
little
much.
buddy. Just wrap it around.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Kahlo, we've got just a couple other stops to make, and then we can head back to the board weasel there.
Sounds good to me.
So, is there anything other than basic supplies that anybody else wants to get?
I do, specifically. First, Assyria, are you like just hanging back, or are you gonna come out and go shopping?
Oh, she
at all?
kind of pieced out when she saw, like, after the impressions and seeing
Oh, okay.
you were kind of taking care of Doc.
Okay.
You probably maybe caught a glimpse of her, like, slightly looking sad as she kind
Yeah.
of walked off, but
Okay.
she's out of there.
Okay. And we are like we're going upon a mountaintop. Was that? Am I understanding this correctly?
Damn right we are. We're gonna
Okay.
summit.
All right. All right. Good. All right. So, Vorn's going to be looking for specifically a map or an area guidebook of the mountain. If anyone has that in town, that'd be very useful to get like just a general terrain of the mountain. And then also, we're going to need rope, belay kits, but more importantly, D&D flare poppers, something that we can shoot off if we get stuck in an area, if we get separated.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah. Wow. Wow, Ricky.
Yeah, Vorn's been in the mountains a little bit. He's done some survival stuff, so he's just.
I would say we can work out what, if you want to buy supplies, here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
I believe this will take you to the proper page in D&D Beyond. Should give you access to
links.
that should give you access to the basic adventuring gear. Let me know if you can access it. Anything that is 10 gold pieces or less, you will have access to at the price it's listed there in the player's handbook.
These all say $1.99. Like they need real money for this stuff.
Yes.
Wait, what?
I clicked the link and it sent me to.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. I know why. I thought it would give you access through mine. You can access it if you add it to your inventory. So no, you don't need to buy with real money this stuff. All right, we'll figure this out. So make a list as Doc did once upon a time of the exact supplies you all want. And it doesn't even have to be done right away. We can assume you have the basic rope, tents, but I will be taking your gold. So we'll figure out exactly what supplies you want, and we'll get that figured out offline.
Yep.
You won't. There's not really anything that's going to serve the need of like a signal flare, in terms of visual, but you can get signal whistles for 5 copper.
Here we go. Let's get whistles for everybody.
That's
and
awesome.
immediately, I want to show Doc how to use it so we can just blow whistles
And
everyone.
Kahlo, I would say for your equipment, aside from what Tira purchased for you for cold weather gear, do not use any of your gold, because Manistrad will provide you a per diem ping, and basically because you're working for the Royal Mining Consortium, your basic supplies are going to be covered. Under
Awesome.
that.
I'm pretty well
Everything's
supplied
fine.
already, so but I'll double check.
So
Kahlo has all
supplied-
her stuff on
She's
his
supplied
laptop.
up.
As Vorn is taking out his signal whistle, Doc is going to reach into his pocket and he's going to say, "Oh, you mean like this?"
What's that?
It's a signal whistle that I've had since our first session.
That's right.
Session.
Well, our first time meeting each other.
Sure, we can call it that too.
Oh my god, the fourth wall. It's broken.
Wait a minute.
Remember
Doc, are
that time? It's everything's in my cart. In fact, if you were curious, I could probably bring up a list very quickly. I could read it out to you if you want.
Well, later, just because you're so practical and you're so direct.
Oh,
What are we missing?
Oh,
And you're the smartest person in the group. What are we missing for this?
Well, I
adventure? What do
mean,
we need?
the question isn't what we're missing, because I have everything that we could possibly need in the cart. The question is, will we run into a situation where we can't bring the cart and would then have to travel light? Which I would recommend. I would think that we should leave the cart securely in town
I agree.
and travel light, because if the cart gets stuck, we would lose a lot of our valuable equipment. And I don't want to risk the lives of Phil and Phil.
Right, I agree.
Who are Phil and Phil?
They're part of our expedition group.
Yes, no, well, that they're the donkeys who carry the cart,
I
obviously.
forgot about Phil and Phil.
Aw.
I forgot about them. Oh my god.
Yeah, I forgot about them too.
Oh, and in reference to that drawing, it's because the hip is flexible.
Oh,
So while Vorn and Doc
So
are
wait a minute.
discussing supplies in these drawings,
I got a question. Like, do I need to put my legs against a wall to get that flexibility? And
while
everything?
you guys are discussing this off camera, we are going to see where Assyria and Soren have gone.
Mhm.
When you left the board weasel, what did you do?
So Saria would have kind of maneuvered around for a little bit. I'm not reading chat right now. So she would have probably wandered for a little bit, maybe stopped by the market to see about even though she hardly has any money, how much, if they have any sending stones, if that's something she could perhaps bother someone to do. Then she's like, wait, I know a thing. So probably she was mid-sentence with a with one of the like shopkeepers. It was like, wait, never mind, I got it, and kind of bolted off.
As the shopkeep was telling you, this sort of very knowledgeable, if slightly haughty, half-elven older gentleman, pushing his glasses up. Well, actually, with sending stones, you need to have
Never
two of
mind, I
them,
got it.
and the receiver needs
Oh
to
my
have the other
God.
one.
Don't
Nope,
mansplain
nope.
seeing
Yep,
stones to me.
she's already out the door. She's gonna head outside of town to a wooded area, and she's gonna look for if there are 2 birds. She's gonna cast Speak with Animals and ask them to do her a favor.
Oh my god, it's like Snow White.
I'm wishing. No.
That's awesome.
And I'm happy to roll however you would like to do this, Jake, if it's even possible, but
I'm just double checking the landscape. Yeah.
you
So
are in the middle of the ocean, never mind.
there's not a whole lot in the way of like a true, like there's a small copse of trees here and there, and there's tall grasses across the river, which is very wide at this point. It's like 100 feet wide at the town. Across the river there is some trees, but finding birds wouldn't be a problem at all.
Okay.
There's lots of birds around in this area. I would say give me an animal handling check just to see how this goes.
Okay. That is going to be a dirty 20.
Wow, okay.
I'm pretty good
This
with my
is-
animal handling.
This is something you're pretty skilled with, is interacting with the wildlife. And you know that just you move into this tall grass, and there's, being close to the water, there's reeds and things like that are different birds are alighting on. And you know that if you just take a seat and wait, the birds will come close enough. So it takes just a few moments before a bird is nearby.
Hello.
Are you just talking to it, or did you cast Speak
No,
with Animals?
she's literally, she's kind of sitting and waiting and has cast Speak with Animals as she sits.
The bird does, for a moment, just does this bird thing, just kind of.
Yes. Hi. Here.
Hey, Sari. You're talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you. What's your
You're
name?
Talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
It's most unusual. This is very highly irregular. I'm not sure how to deal with this. I should
know.
fly away.
No,
But I'm-
I've got lots, and she'll reach into her bag where she has some bird seeds for the bird.
I don't know how to deal with it.
I should fly away. Every time I'm uncomfortable for the next like month, I'm gonna think.
I relate to this bird.
So just fly away.
I just gave a bird an existential
I'm very
crisis.
uncomfortable.
That's what
You
just happened.
triggered a bird's fight or flight response.
The flight is looking pretty damn good.
I just gave an existential crisis. I'm so sorry.
I should fly away.
I should fly away now.
Wait,
Wow.
wait. Is that-
Wait.
Is that bird seed?
Mhm.
Mm.
And I will
I'm less inclined
stop
to fly
it,
away.
chat. So I wanted to ask you if you could possibly do me a favor, and at this point she's outstretched her hand, which has the bird seed on there, on her hand, and I will have more for you that I can leave in your nest. They'll be waiting for you. If you're
You think I'm
able
going to tell
do
you where my
this.
nest is?
No,
I'm
I'm
not
just
a
going to give it to you
fool.
here. I am trusting you to take this back to your nest and take this letter to where it needs to go.
Letter. What is a letter?
This thing. And she'll, oh no, she'll pull out this a piece of parchment that's been wrapped. It's not very big.
Where do you need it to go?
Baldur's Gates?
Baldur's Gate? What's a Baldur's Gate?
Okay, well, and she'll pull out at this point, because she's been kind of loosely charting where they've been, since she's survivalist and all that. She will show on the map where they are and where Baldur's Gate is.
I am going to see.
In that direction.
Let's see. By air, for a griffin, that's about 3 days' journey. That is a really long ways.
I have a lot of birdseed for you, so you can easily take it back to your nest. It'll be well worth the trouble, I promise you.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh no.
Does she get to do it with advantage because of the bird seed? She's bribing this bird.
It's still a bird.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's still a bird. Persuasion? 14.
Huh?
I will let you add your animal handling to that as well.
Oh, thank God, dirty 20.
Oh, okay.
Yay!
I mean, it makes sense. You're specifically dealing with an animal.
You are handling it.
I'm
as they say.
handling it. I promise you. Like I said, I understand you not wanting to share your home, but the amount of birdseed I was planning on giving you is going to be quite substantial, so you might need at least a little bit of help. So, Soren is hidden, never mind. So, I'll help you one way or another get this bag of seed back to your nest, but I really need this letter to go to Baldur's Gate.
The bird flies down to you, like perches on your edge of your hand. It's not a terribly small bird. I don't know birds, so I can't tell you what kind of bird it is. It's the kind of bird you would find by a river. That's a mid-sized bird.
Approximately a red-winged blackbird, I would
Sure.
suppose.
Sure. And it kind of pecks at a few of the bird seeds and nibbles them up, and then it sort of flies away a few feet away, and it gets down at the grass level, and it starts sort of, if you've ever seen a bird take like a dust bath where it kind of puts its wings out and it's moving around on the ground, and you see it kind of moving at the underbrush a little bit, and then it steps aside and you see it's created a little hollow in the grass. You can leave it right here.
Perfect. And she will pull from her bag looks to be about a 3-pound bag of birdseed that she's been hanging on to, that she will go ahead and just pop it right into the little hollow.
You've been carrying around a 3-pound bag of birdseed?
Yeah, I mean,
You'd
we'll
never
think of-
know.
You never know, and honestly, that's protein when they have been able to get some meat. So she's been
Wow.
carrying stuff around.
You've been
3
grinding
pounds.
that shit up into like our breakfast, haven't you? You son of a bitch.
Yes. Gotta get your protein.
Every morning you just have suet cakes.
Why is the bacon
Why is
like
it-
crunchy? It's not crunchy for the right reasons.
Yeah, it's not that crispy crunchy. It's
You said this was grape
Creamy.
nuts.
yeah. They're good berries, I promise you.
Oh my god.
They're
opposite of
okay
fiber.
berries at best.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
She will go ahead and pop these into there. But again, you must take this letter to Baldur's Gate.
the bird reluctantly moves away from the where you stash the bird seed in the little hollow. It does kind of move the grasses a little bit to conceal it, and then it kind of flies back up to your hands and says, "All right, how am I supposed to carry this?"
And she'll do you mind lifting your leg for a moment? I can tie it there.
It kind of experiments a little bit, lifting a leg, and then
As
just
this
sort
is
of
happening, Asteria's literally rolling down, like she's made the parchment about this big. She's rolling it and trying to make it as tiny as possible so she can just kind of affix it.
okay.
All right.
So, is that it?
I was just.
That's it.
Hold on.
The bird kind of flies a little bit and then stutters.
Oh shit.
Flies a little bit and then kind of stutters back to the ground.
I believe
And then you
in
see, and then it gets up and it catches a little bit of a updraft, and then you watch as it begins soaring off across the river
Wow.
to the south.
Awesome.
Hope that thing doesn't get eaten by an eagle.
Doc,
You know what? Hold on one second, Jordan. I would like you.
It's the
Oh,
realism
no.
of it all, though. It's the realism.
I would
of it
like
all.
you to roll.
Sure.
Here we go. I'm gonna
The
say that there is
music
a
soars.
1% chance. So I'm gonna roll my D100. I have a number here. If you hit this number, you've just manifested the fate of this bird.
Oh God. Okay, what am I rolling?
A D100.
D100.
Oh.
I will also have you know that red-winged blackbirds are very aggressive and able to defend themselves.
So roll with advantage then.
I mean, I would still
Fine.
take an eagle, no matter how aggressive they are.
That is a 70.
You missed it by 10.
Okay. Oh.
As your little bird friend flies away into the distance,
Godspeed.
Never to be seen.
I
again.
will make some basic survival rolls for this bird to see if it succeeds in its journey. And
And to let you know, the letter is going towards the tavern where we got our mug club mugs.
yep, that
and
was at
Asteria-
the Heath's Hot and Cold Drinks in
Yes.
Baldur's Gate, the Wide.
Yes. And it's basically asking how much would it be to get a mug, and that will be back at Candlekeep, and depending on how much it'll be, Asteria will commission for one to be sent to Candlekeep, and we'll pay for it.
Okay. Ricky, you've been chomping at the bit to say something.
Yep.
It's wholly irrelevant. I feel like the 10-year-old is like, mom, and there's nothing to add. That's not really any importance. Anyways, I'm gonna circle back to Doc. We're gonna look through the provisions that he already has and decide that at least half of what I thought I should buy, I do not need to buy. And we can just pare it down into carryable backpack sizes. If we're looking at a 2 or 3 day expedition, we should be able to manage a pack. I'm strong enough to carry a pack of supplies, and speaking for Tira, but I imagine she's strong enough too. And then Doc can carry some as well. So we
I
can
believe
at least-
all of you have packs
right.
that have basic survival gear as
Yeah.
part of your pack. So you already have
Yeah.
things like rope and
Yeah.
You know, you should always bring at least 2 10-foot poles wherever you go. And if you bring a third one, you can make a crude sledge in case someone gets hurt.
That's a great idea. Can we pare it down to 8 foot though? So
No,
that as we're climbing,
they
it has
don't
to be
come
10.
in 8 foot. They come in 10 foot. You pay extra if you customize the order.
I mean, are these wooden poles or metal poles?
Wooden.
We can cut. Okay, we'll work it out, Doc.
they're
Hey.
5 copper pieces a piece.
Sure, no problem.
When you have 0 gold, voice in the sky, 5 copper pieces is a lot.
I think I have some gold, right? I
Why
have some
do you
gold,
not
right?
have any gold? You've been paid
We have
like
gold.
3
We've
times.
been being paid.
Doc spent 559 silver and
What?
melted down 15 pounds of silver to make silver manacles for Saria. He has literally 0 gold.
How much gold does Vorn have? I have not been keeping track. I have at least 5 gold on me, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna
Jordan,
tell you this
I
again.
told you how much gold
You
is in
need
the
to
secret
keep
chat.
track,
You gotta
Ruckus.
keep track of it.
Jordan's.
How would I know how much gold we have?
You have an
And
inventory spot.
Yeah, you have an inventory spot, and
You have gold on your character sheet.
Okay, so we have gold. We can buy 3 copper. no
Yeah, you have
problems.
plenty. You have plenty.
So,
We'll talk
anyways,
later.
I have 0 gold, but one of the things that Doc will take the opportunity to do is take a few hours to fix the broken silver manacles that were that Asaria broke while she was in her let us say her Moonlight Sonata.
There you go.
Would you do that yourself, or would you seek the help of a blacksmith?
I mean, I'm a master tinker. I don't think there's probably a blacksmith in Marine who could do it better than me. But I mean, I suspect not anyways. But sure, let's go and see who does it better. We're gonna have a blacksmith off now.
I'm just
checked for a
asking.
blacksmith
I'm just
like in a
asking
town,
what
though,
your if you were attempting to do it yourself or
No, so
to get
Doc,
help.
what we will do is Doc will he will borrow. Well, he's going to drag Vorn with him to the blacksmith shop.
Yeah.
And he's going to ask to use their anvil and find out how much it would cost so he can do the work himself. Oh, and I realized I don't have any dice.
that matters.
And if and when Doc begins to work on it, Vorn's just going to make a few comments as he thumbs through the multiple pages. Like, Doc, I have so many questions. First, when did you draw all of this? Second, I understand you're a doctor, but a lot of this stuff is, if I can say honestly, theoretical.
Well, I mean, yes. One, I am a doctor, which is why I know exactly how the muscles are supposed to move. So that's where that comes from. And we literally started by talking about how I don't sleep.
That's true. That's true. So the manacles, when you're binding them with like silver, how are you fixing it?
Well, what I'm
Wheel
going to
out?
do is I've learned from my mistakes. And the truth is, I used too much silver in the first iteration. You see, I made them about 3 feet long and with a standard size of manacle around the arm. But the problem is, in her Moonlight Sonata, she's able to get a lot of torque to pull her arms apart. The trick is I'm going to remove most of the lengths so they're much closer together, so it will be harder to use the full weight of her body to break free. And I'm hoping that will strengthen them. That, and I'm also going to use magic after.
One last question, Doc.
Yes.
Do you have anyone that's important to you?
What does that mean?
I mean, I know like all of us, we're important to you, but like, deeply important at the core.
Doc is going to think a little, and he's going to say, well, excluding all of you, there's my duck, Einstein Jr., and my flower pot, Frank.
I'm not trying to be nosy, but back when we were at the gate, I noticed that you had a simple page to submit to the library.
Uh-huh.
And it looked like it was a crude drawing, kind of like a child drew it.
Okay.
Okay.
And?
I mean, who gave you that? Because I'm just saying, like the pictures you drew over here, And the picture that I kind of saw are dynamically, they don't look like they're pinned by the same hand.
Yes. Well, all I remember is that I woke up and I had a strong desire to take this document or drawing, if you want to refer to it that way, to Candlekeep. I don't know who drew it or how it got into my pocket, but an overwhelming desire, one might say, to bring it to Candlekeep. There's really no other way to describe it. So I did. And they convinced me to stay, even though my task was completed. And I'd say that it's worked out pretty well so far, because I met all of you, and I've been on some adventures. Not that I need it, but adventures are okay, and all of you are nice too. But in terms of your question, I can't say who drew it or why. I do like Frank, though. When you're all sleeping, I talk to Frank. He's actually a very good listener.
And sometimes Ditto kind of chimes in every now and then too.
Yes, most of the time it's very helpful. Ditto's actually quite insightful. And then there's other times he's really awkward and I forget he's a baby mimic.
Right.
I'm very small. I am not an infant.
I didn't say you were an infant. I said you're a baby mimic. Baby can be used as an adjective to describe size, which you would know if you were a full-grown adult.
I understand the intricacies of the language. Do not preach linguistics to me.
Ditto. It's just the way Doc is. Don't take it personal, eh?
You're the one who was insulted.
It's okay. Hey, everyone's fine. Doc, thank you for sharing. Hey, do you think you can sharpen my axe?
Oh, no, I don't do that. You should use the blacksmith. I'm more of a... I make things.
Okay. Hey, thanks for sharing. I'm just going to pop open my journal here. Doc.
Yeah?
I think you're pretty great. And he's going to hold out the fist as a fist bump. And...
Perfect. That's a perfect place for us to take the break I've been trying to go on for 10 minutes.
Yay!
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Don't apologize.
Oh,
we are going to take a break there. We will be back in about 10 minutes. So please don't go anywhere. Stick around during the break. Check out some of the promos for other shows that people have going on. If you haven't done so already, consider subscribing. Whoops, that is not a thing. Yeah, so we are going to take our break now. We will see you in just about 10 minutes. And we are back. Doc, I would like you to make me a I want you to make a intelligence check.
Oh, Jesus.
You can... Yeah, just make an intelligence check.
Uh, 13.
Okay. And you were going to seek out the services of, or at least ask the local smith to use their forge, their anvil. You would be able to do that. And the history check was enough for you to know that you absolutely can do what you were talking about doing, taking some links out, shortening up the chain. But you also realize that making a set of manacles out of pure silver might not have been the best option. silver plating iron manacles could be just as effective for the silver and stronger, potentially. For unless there's other services you want specifically, we're going to fast forward a little bit to everybody meeting back up at the Board Weasel. I believe you wanted to talk to Kahlo and Tira.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's however that happens, within the next couple hours.
I imagine Tira bursts in after having a delightful day in the market going, well, we have returned victorious.
Just
We
like I'm
have
carrying a big
clothes.
tent.
We have clothes for everybody and tents.
Oh, Tira, that's really good. Did you?
Thank you.
Did you get me some clothes?
Of course we did.
Oh,
You're a
that's
part of
very
the group,
nice.
aren't you?
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Did you get anything from Frank?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, sure did. And Tira would like reach behind, and I imagine Tira has like a flour sack or just some random cloth something. And she would rip off a piece and like tie it into like a little loop and be like, it's a cape for Frank because he's such a hero. And I would like hold it up. It's more or less just like a hanky.
Boomer sticks out with his little scarf on.
Oh my gosh, a scarf.
Doc is he's going to say, "Oh, well, that's okay, Tira. Don't worry. I already put a sock on Frank anyway."
Good. Well, he can have this too. And then I just kind of like am looking around and be like, did you all get all the stuff we needed? Vaughn, did you get us food and provisions and everything like that? Vaughn, did you get us food and provisions and everything like that? I see you've got your hearing goggles on now.
The hearing goggles, correct. Yeah. Turns out Doc had at least like half of what we needed.
Wow.
We just had to, cut it in half. But yeah, I got us, additional things that we need, provisions and things that keep well in the winter. And got you this. And it's a small little winter rose. And it's like good for the mountains. And it's like dark purple or bluish.
Oh. I take it, and Tira, you can tell again very much the way when Astra gave the flower. She's trying really hard to be like careful with it, and she's just like, "Vaughn, this is very sweet. Thank you.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do with it?"
I kind of lean into your ear, like, chew it for your breath.
Oh. And then Tira would just go and just take a big old bite off of the
Not
end
all
of it.
Oh, pedal by
I
pedal.
do the whole thing. Is it drugs?
No, it's just some mint.
Oh, well, I take the whole thing in my mouth. Does it hurt? Is it too spicy?
It's super minty. Yeah, it's like holding a whole squab
Woo!
of
I would imagine, Tira, you've had alcoholic beverages that have a similar sort of burn to it. This is that kind of burn without the addition of the spirits to accompany it.
Normally when I have something like this, it gets me drunk. Does this do anything?
No. It's just for pleasantries. And I there's a whole satchel of it, and I hand it and put it in her palm. And they're also pretty to look at. You can put them in your hair or on your garb, but here's, pouch of them.
Well, thank you, Vaughn. That's very sweet. I appreciate it.
One petal at a time next time.
Yeah, is that okay? I'm getting that sense. Oi! And I say, drinks all around for me and these 5 knuckleheads, eh? And I holler over at the barkeep, whose name I remembered earlier and now I forgot. Lloyd? No, that's the shiny.
Lucas. Isn't it Lucas?
Lucas
Lucas!
is the owner, but not the
I
barkeep.
knew it was an L.
Yeah.
I
don't
forgot
know
the
if we know
barkeep's name.
Do
Because
we?
I accidentally gave the barkeep's name last session to the little old lady that wanted the drawings.
Couldn't
And then
tell
I
ya.
changed the barkeep's name and I forgot to write it down. So
Hey, it's Lucas tonight.
I forget what her name was. Yeah, Lucas is working. And you get a round of spiced cider.
How much? So I can add it to my inventory of gold. Or subtract.
A round for everybody is going to be it's three silvers a piece. You can do the math on that for however many drinks you bought.
3 silvers
Math.
a piece for 6 people. That's 18 silver,
There you go.
aka 1.8 golds.
Look at the brain on this one.
Thanks. All right.
Assyria.
Done.
Doc, I'll let you have your conversation in a moment. Assyria, as you are do you return to the board weasel?
Probably not for several hours. She's gonna kind of walk around and use a spell she has not used before. Disguise self. And see if perhaps she can find out any news about if word about Shadowheart has reached here, is in the area. Sorry, I have a cat that really wants my dice right now. That's what I'm kind of fighting with right now. But just trying to find some more information. She's trying to be a little bit more discreet. So instead of a half-elf brunette girl kind of maneuvering around town, you would see a red-haired woman with bright green eyes, just kind of maneuvering around, looking way more comfortable than Assyria ever does with moving around in the public spaces. Just kind of trying to find a little bit of information, but she probably won't be back at the tavern until much later. So we can resolve that later, Jake, but yeah.
No, that's fine. I would like you...
Sure.
I would like you to make a... stealth check.
Sure. That's going to be a 25.
Okay. And a sleight of hand check.
Okay. That is going to be a 19.
Okay. So you're maneuvering around the town, just kind of looking at things, blending in, listening in for whatever you might hear. Go ahead and make a perception check.
That is going to be a 15.
Really, for the most part, as you are walking around in Murine, most of the conversation just seems to be about people looking forward to the summer. People talking about fishing plans. People are talking about with it being Kythorn, that in 2 months' time, the fact that not only do we get to celebrate Midsummer, but we get to celebrate Shield Meet, the leap year, and festivals that'll be going on. A lot of, according to the old Sword Coast Farmer's Almanac, it's going to be a hot one this summer. Yeah, that's what I heard too. You know, a lot of that kind of stuff. You don't hear any mentions of any big city politics, or anything that seems out of the ordinary. It's all very mundane, slice of life stuff. I would like you to make a I'd like you to make me a perception check.
Okay. That is gonna be a 21.
A 21.
15 plus 6.
All right. So this is basically what you're going to do for the next hour.
Couple of hours. She's just kind of get
Your
like.
spell only lasts for 1 hour.
Okay, 1 hour. She will kind of maneuver around and then just kind of walk around town. She's kind of feeling a little bit. Some of what Doc was saying this morning is hitting home a bit for her, so she's trying to walk it out a little bit before heading back to the tavern. So she'll probably be away for at least 2 hours.
Okay.
So.
Meanwhile, back at the Bored Weasel, drinks have been had. Any food, if you want. There's a little bit of things like wild pork paste, long bean stew, potato pie. You can get a 1-foot sandwich.
$5. Hey, quick question.
Oh
Did
no,
you
it's
just
not
say
it's not a
pork
foot
paste?
long sandwich. It's a 1-foot sandwich. It's made from roasted 1 foot.
Oh, I see. Also, did you say pork paste?
Pork paste, yes.
Oh, nice. Can I just get like a grilled cheese? Can Tira order off the kids menu? Can I get some nuggets?
Something about pork paste didn't sound.
No.
Not super
Nope.
appealing. And Tira would eat like a lot. She would eat like a lot.
Yeah, I would say you can get. You'd probably have to explain what a grilled cheese is,
Mhm.
but it'll probably cost another. I would say about 15 silver for everybody's food.
Okay, I pay that.
Kahlo. Hi. So I'm assuming you've done a lot of spelunking and a lot of deep dives into caves. Any mountain climbing?
Well, caves are where the mines tend to be.
Nothing up high though, right?
Nothing quite so high as this. I gotta say, this is new for me.
You ever climbed before? Ever?
No, but I suppose it's just like walking, only at an incline.
You would think. Actually, you're right. A lot of people try to pull themselves up with their upper body, but it's really a lot of leg pushing,
Well, my center of gravity's pretty low.
Yeah. Hey, question. Answer to your
Sure.
degree of comfort. What are you looking to get out of this expedition?
Well, it's a chance to go exploring and see something of the world. It's kind of neat to see these hidden places that most people have never been, or haven't been in a long time in this case.
Yeah. You're not scared at all?
Well, some of this stuff people are saying is a little bit frightening, but I mean, I came from a very simple, quiet place, and I knew go out in the world that there'd be scary things, but I think it's worth it because, life is short.
Yeah. And we should try to.
You gotta
would've-
live it while you're here.
Yeah, I agree.
Why are you coming?
Because my friends are going.
Oh, you mean
And-
Tira.
Yeah. I kind of got a thing for it, don't I? It's pretty obvious, right?
It is, but it's sweet.
It's kind of embarrassing. Can I tell you a secret?
Sure, what's that?
I'm kind of afraid of heights.
Oh, well, it might be a good idea to get something like a good solid rope that you could tie from yourself to me when we're going up when it's high. Because even
But
if you fall, I don't think you're gonna pull me down.
But if you fall, you're gonna pull me down.
That's probably also true.
And I'm looking at your hands, and they don't look like they're good for climbing. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest.
Shouldn't think that far ahead.
What's that weapon like Spanish people, like Spanish conquistadors used to go like and like be able to like whip up a bull? What was that? What was
A
that
bolo?
thing with like two weights on the end? A bolo. Yes, you guys are gonna be like a bolo climbing up the mountain.
Just
Fucking weights on the end.
At this point, Lucas kind of speaks up and just says, I don't really mean to be eavesdropping on you, but y'all are talking, well, kind of loud. You do realize you don't actually have to mountain climb to get to Vermeillon. There's a road that
thank
goes
God.
up there.
See? And after that, we're going inside the mountain, so you won't even know we're high up.
Oh, thank goodness. But honestly, like every time I cross over a bridge or anything that's suspended up high, catwalk, it gets a little touchy for me. I gotta focus. I'm just being honest.
Now, is there a reason you don't like heights?
I don't know. There's not a lot I'm afraid of, but
That's fair.
I'm not sure if Tears at the point where she's ready to hold my hand up the mountain. I'm not sure if I need it, but it's the road, so we're good. We're good.
So we'll be fine. Don't even think about it.
Oh, it's such a relief.
Kira is
More
arm
fun.
wrestling a random patron in the bar over in the corner and getting very drunk.
Listen,
No.
you can't just throw something like that out there and not have to make a strength test.
I was planning on it, you marvelous bastard. Here we go.
Well, first off, we're going to see who you're arm wrestling.
Okay.
Okay. The only one that wanted to take you up on arm wrestling is a gnome.
All right.
And he looks very diminutive next to you and barely grabs hold of your thumb as you prepare to arm wrestle him. So
All right.
just
Well,
make
here
a
we go.
strength athletics check.
Good luck. Got a 9.
You go to throw this gnome's hand to the ground or to the tabletop, and you find as he's gripping your thumb, you cannot budge his arm.
Holy shit! Ah!
He reaches over and he grabs his glass.
Oh, you
Tira,
tiny,
over the top.
you tiny bastard!
Boom!
And
He
I,
slams your hand down into the table.
Ah! What the shit? Ah! What are you on? Oh my god!
He just shrugs
he's a
at
mute.
you.
Oh, and I imagine Tira slaps down whatever gold they put on this, and she put down too much because she was planning on just whooping on this little gnome. Probably 2 gold. Fuck!
Anybody who is watching this take place, make a perception check.
He took a drink and it was a potion, wasn't it? That cheater.
Ooh, I got a nat 20 on that. What a waste of time.
Hey!
You're just staring at Tira across the room while we're talking about her.
As
We know.
as the gnome finishes his drink off and walks out the door, he kind of pulls his cloak to the side, turns to wave to Lucas, and you catch a glimpse that he is wearing a belt under his cloak that looks a little bit almost like a weightlifter's belt. And he very easily pushes the door open with his tiny
Wow.
little hand, like, oh, no problem here.
Small
And heads on out the door.
Small king. What a badass. Okay, I'm not even mad.
Amazing.
Wow. Okay.
Assyria. Eventually, you make it back to the inn. And as you do so, you are approached by a familiar figure. As you see the tall, thin, red and graying hair of Astravorn. Excuse me, dear. I don't mean to intrude on your privacy, but I was wondering if I could have just a moment of your time. That's you, Assyria. You're
I
muted.
think you're muted, my
I
friend.
forgot I was muted. Sorry about
Burp,
that.
burp,
I was like, wait, what?
Sorry.
Sure.
As I understand it, you and your companions are heading up to the old town of Vermeillon,
Mm-hmm.
and well, I know Lucas mentioned his wife, what passed away all them years ago in the accident at the mine, and I know it would just mean the world to him if y'all could put some flowers on her grave.
Mm-hmm.
There's no charge for these, but take these from my stand. And she hands you a bouquet of just a vast array of wildflowers.
These are beautiful.
I just wanted to... I would have loved to have done it myself, but like Lucas, the time for me to travel up the mountain back to Vermeillon is long since past. Watch yourself up there. We've only heard rumors of what was, and I barely can remember, but it was a time of sadness and tragedy. And well, just be careful, you and your friends.
You will. And she'll kind of nod and carefully place the bouquet in her bag. She'll actually pull, she's got some parchment that she'll kind of wrap the flowers in just to kind of protect them from the elements. Just because we're going to be going somewhere a bit colder. So she will carefully put them in her bag and secure.
All right. Well, you are able to return into the board easel, where you have rooms secured for. Did somebody secure rooms?
I'm not buying rooms too. I've spent 50 gold tonight.
No one secured rooms.
Okay.
When I was asking for it, I was kind of looking for that. I'm not sure if you want to count that or not.
So, Kahlo, your room is covered by Manistrad and all those rooms. The other rooms are 5 silvers apiece if you would each like your own room. Or you can double up for it's basically 5 silver a bed, not a room. So however you want to pay for that, it's either 5 silver each or however for the 5 of you.
I think I would offer to get a room with Vorn with 2 freaking beds in it for now. Tira's playing hard to get.
And no problem.
And I just want to talk. I kind of want to have a slumber party.
Slumber party.
We'll paint each other's nails.
Oh my god! And then if you stay, like, first one who
We'll
falls
play
asleep.
light as the feather, stiff as the board.
Yes, that game. Yes.
That was a terrifying game. Vorn is tormented by nightmares of blood axes, so we don't. deal
Jesus
with that.
Christ. I don't know that. So
But we can play anyway. I fear nothing, except for
I
heights.
do imagine kind of just talking to Vorn for a while into the night as we just sort of like fall asleep.
Well, Vorn's gonna ask a couple of questions. Number one, hey, do you think I hide behind these goggles?
What do you mean? Hide behind them.
At this point, it's like 2:45 in the morning, and Vorn's been talking incessantly.
Yeah.
It's like never mind. And
And then Tira would like kind of roll over and face him and be like, "No, what do you mean?"
I don't know. Something Doc said earlier, and it kind of made a lot of sense to me at the moment. But it's fine. Hey, I haven't got a chance to tell you. Happy you're here.
And I'm happy you're here, Vaughn, even if you ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, I have so many more. It just, and Vaughn's gonna rattle off a few more silly questions, and I imagine like Tira's one of those things like she starts falling asleep and like jerks awake because she's like hears him still asking questions.
No,
it's like-
Vaughn, I don't think so. Yeah, no, no, Vaughn, I agree. Yeah. And just kind of like Tira's just sort of like platitudes.
Yeah,
At
but
this
why
point.
does stones sharpen steel? Stones? What stone?
Couldn't tell you.
And then, for a moment, Vaughn looks at his gear in the corner, looks at Tira's gear in a corner, an opposite corner, and glances around the room. No whispers. All right then, Tira. And Tira's really well asleep. Like she's snoring.
I am
She's
dead. I am dead
sawing
asleep.
logs. And he's gonna kind of like turn down the lantern, and that's it.
And the night and the morning were the next day. It is now the 5th of Kythorn.
Oh, the overlay changed.
As morning comes and you all are able, the only thing I need you to do is I need 3 people to roll d20s for me.
Got it.
I'll do one. 15.
I got the other one.
17.
Here comes mine. Oh, 18.
Wow. 15,
Okay.
17, 18. Nice.
Okay.
Oh, pie's good.
So, Brooke, I need a d4.
Uh-oh.
4.
Bad things are happening,
Oh.
y'all.
That's how many
Okay.
meteors hit us.
Nope. So,
Meteorites. Jeez.
4 meteors.
it is.
Destroys the whole world.
It is.
One for each hemisphere.
It's kind of like in Skyrim when you start to head up the throat of the world and all of a sudden the snow starts blowing, or if you've played Valheim, as soon as you get into the mountain biomes, all of a sudden it's blowing snow. You're traveling up this mountain road, and the incline is enough that you know you're going up, and the road is like a series of switchbacks going up around this mountain, and it's a couple hours into your journey up the mountain, and it is very quickly very cold. This time of year, it is normally easily in the 60s or 70s, even early in the morning. Within the first couple hours, the temperature drops 40 degrees as you're climbing the mountain, and you are very thankful that you all have these purchased cold weather gear. Kahlo, by the way, you were able to pick up
A weird poncho thing.
your
Your hospital gown.
yeah.
Instead of an open butt, it's an open shell.
Yeah, right.
So, because you have this cold weather gear, you will not suffer the exhaustive effects of cold weather. But it has also started snowing very heavily thanks to Ricky's 18, which does mean that your perception checks and investigation checks will be at disadvantage because of visibility being very strained.
Perception and what?
Perception and investigation. Basically anything that you're going to be doing looking for things.
Looking around.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the plan was that you were going to leave the cart and the animals
Yes.
Phil and
in
Phil need to
town.
be
You were going to
protected.
board them,
Yes.
and you're traveling on foot.
Yes.
Mizia dislikes this.
Of course. Of course they do.
I just imagine as you're all moving along, Mizia probably carrying little more than their own stuff, but with this cold weather gear, has the hood up and is very huddled down.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You see,
I
Soren is
strongly
rocking-
disapprove of this. I very
see-
much
So
dislike
cold.
this. That's it. The opposite
so
of before.
cold.
It's so cold.
So cold.
As Mizzy is complaining, Doc is going to say, yes.
No. I would like each of you to make a survival check.
Oof.
Vorn does pull out a rare pair of goggles that are like the Eskimo goggles, the slits for the snow.
Ooh, I got a dirty 20 survival.
12.
Fine.
God, you do feel cold through your shell.
All right, 9 Assyria. Okay.
24 and 19 for Soren.
Vorn, what'd you get?
Can I re-roll that power 6?
Oh my god.
You absolutely can. That's what do we say? It's 3 for a reroll.
3 for a reroll. Correct.
How many do we have?
have
32
32
now.
Oh, yeah.
That's plenty.
And
Okay, here we go. Ready?
I love playing D&D with nerds and teachers.
Yep.
That's gonna
We're very
be
good at this.
a 15.
I heard teen.
15.
15. Okay, that's good. I need to see how Mizia does on their survival.
Brooke, I am so proud of you. I just saw your side chat. Phenomenal. Yes, we used to use the
Why
word
do you
cold.
think that
Oh, no.
turtles need heat lamps and stuff?
Mizia
We used
got
to use the word cold-blooded.
Oh
of
no,
course,
what did
but now
Midget
I-
get?
Mizia got
Yeah.
a 5.
Oh, well, they
On
don't have
brand,
anybody
on brand. Sorry, do I?
So, Doc.
12.
No, Doc, I would like you. Oh, wait, I got to roll for the others. Manistrads. 17. Good. That is a D10. That is not a D20. Rack and Crack are doing good. The Doc. And. Okay. Kahlo and Mizia. Who's closest to Kahlo?
Probably me. We've been
Tira, make
forming
a
bond.
quick perception check, and Doc, make a perception check.
Perception is a 21.
At disadvantage because of the snow.
Disadvantage.
Perception is a 7.
Ooh, so good.
Oh no.
I'm gonna die.
And
This is
Doc,
Kahlo
what did you
slowly
get?
dying.
9.
9?
My frostbitten
Oh boy.
shell.
So you hear but don't immediately see as you are all walking up this mountain. Kahlo and Mizia both step because of the blowing snow. You drift a little too close to the edge. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no, dude! Brooke, make it at advantage. Take a tone.
Hold on.
Make it at advantage.
Hold on. And I am tied to you because I'm still scared of heights.
Wrong with the bolt.
Aww.
You're going with the bolo method.
Can I do an advantage then? Because I have a +0.
That you can. Yes, Carrie's saying use one of the dice for advantage.
Okay.
And
Which
Gian, can we
actually
be
makes
linked
it
together?
be a straight roll. Or wait, no, that wasn't a disadvantage. So yes,
Yeah,
rolling
no,
at
that
advantage.
one's not. One of them's a nat 20.
There you go.
So that's
All
a
right.
20.
So
The other one was a 4, so it was, and that's the one I usually roll.
I'm checking Mizya's
Good idea.
spells real quick.
Future Doc can help out on this, but current Doc can't help
Mizya
out.
has
Damn
no
it.
reaction spells. Mizya is going to make a dexterity saving throw.
I can help too because I'm tied to her.
You can't be tied to everybody.
Yeah, you were.
Oh, hold on. I'm tied to Brooke. Okay, wait. I'm sorry.
You're tied to
That's
Kahlo.
me. We're talking
Yeah,
about
you're trying
Mizya.
to- Yeah.
Okay,
the
so
top of-
Mizya is
So-
fall. Okay.
Kahlo, you sense that your feet are falling out, or slipping out from
Oh, dear.
underneath you. And you are, because of that, you said you got a nat 20 with that advantage roll. So you're able to quickly grab hold of the rope. You do that thing with surprising speed where you sort of wrap your arm around and pull. And Vorn, you feel Kahlo's full weight pulled
All
against you.
450 pounds.
Pulls
problem.
against you. And they brace.
Plus my inventory.
She
which
braces
is a
her
lot.
feet. And you see suddenly as the snow blows that she, for just a moment, the snow blows and you can see this like drop off where she almost falls over the edge but catches herself at the last second.
Ooh.
And then you all hear Mizya just give a "Ah!" And Mizya has fallen off the edge.
No.
I would like
Sorry, Dwight.
We love you, Dwight.
I want Carrie to roll me a d6.
Oh no. Why? No, I don't want. 2.
Okay, Mizya falls 20 feet.
Ooh.
Oh.
Be glad you didn't roll
That's
a
a
6.
lot. That's
Yeah.
an overpass. He
Yeah.
jumped off an overpass.
So
Two-story
that's a
building.
So
lot
that's
of damage.
6. Mizya's
That's a hot
taking
square.
8 points of bludgeoning
Can
damage.
I use a reaction to cast Featherfall on Mizya?
Making
Cast.
I'm gonna say that you
I was busy saving
this
myself.
is happening at the same time that you were basically
I
using
tried.
if
I did
you
all I
weren't
could.
one of the ones that were also falling, I might have allowed
I
you a
tried,
perception
Dwight.
check.
Sorry.
So
Let it be
you,
noted.
Doc, you're the closest. You do hear Mizya call out, but you hear that it's sort of a, "Ah," and then you hear this. Ah!
So
Oh,
did they
no.
just
Oh.
fall into a little crevasse or something?
They slipped off the road and slipped down part of the mountain.
Okay. Does it look like they are at risk for falling further?
You see that they've fallen sort of on a flat spot and they're kind of wedged up against some other rocks. It just looks like it's going to be difficult for them to get up.
Okay.
Syria
Doc,
will start to maneuver down.
Doc is going to he's going to take from his bag a little piece of tin that looks like an hourglass, and he's going to crush it in his hand, and he's going to blow it in the air, and the space around Mizya begins to bend and twist and fold, and I would like to have Mizya to make a Constitution saving throw, and I would like to use a tome to impose disadvantage on her saving throw.
What are you trying to do?
Their saving throw. I'm just trying to impose this. I'm trying to use vortex warp to
Oh,
teleport
wow.
her.
And-
To
Can they
teleport
just
them.
allow it to happen though?
No,
Oh.
They can't
Unfortunately
voluntarily.
not.
Okay.
in 5e, you're not actually allowed to voluntarily.
That's
fail a
not
saving throw.
true.
No.
There are several instances where the rules state that you can choose to fail a saving throw.
Yeah. You
Okay.
can.
And Mizya's seen you cast this spell.
Mhm.
So, I mean, if you're trying to save them, I feel like Mizya would. Plus, Mizya is a spellcaster, and an artificer. So I'm going to allow Mizia to just choose to fail that.
Sure. So the space around Mizia bends and folds, and they're going to get plopped back on the road. And as they do, a little bit of snow comes with them, and it goes.
What sound does it make?
I think you see for a moment, you just see as they appear in front of you, and sort of like where they were just sort of drop out, and then they just, and then a little bit of snow.
Is that Tilda-Loo?
You
Hey,
see-
follow Tilda-Loo on Twitch.
Yeah, that's the sound. Is Tilda-Loo?
Tilda-Loo.
You see Mizia sort of, they're holding their hands and feet out with this look like, I did not like that one bit. Thank you,
Well-
Doctor.
You're welcome. Next time, you should try not to fall.
Yes, yes. Make it sound so easy.
Amazing.
And they're a little banged up.
So Mizia, why don't you walk on the inside of the group? against
Saria will walk
the
behind.
I
wall?
thought I was.
Yeah.
It is
I'll just be-
so bright out here.
Oh no. Well, why aren't you using the umbrella?
I can. pass
Mizia,
you
without
over-
saying anything, just pulls the umbrella out of their pack, opens it, and it immediately goes in the wind,
Oh.
Oh
Well,
no.
and then they just kind of wrestle it
Okay.
down
well,
and
sorry
tuck it
about
back
that.
away.
Here, Mizia, and I take off my goggles that have the specifically for the snow and bright light, and I hand them over. If it's hurting your eyes, I can manage. Here, it makes it easier.
Aw.
I now want art of Mizia wearing Vorn's goggles.
They're a little too big.
Here, hold on.
but
Just
they're-
gotta tighten the strap here, and there's a little leather strap that I can tighten and kind of cinch behind their head to make it fit
Mhm.
their head better.
That's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
There does need to be art of this.
And
And
Mizia just has this look. They have this look of these big goggles with this tiny old drow face just looking around. You know, I think that's much better.
they're said to have some magical qualities too. You know, my father made those for me.
He was quite the craftsman.
Hey, Mizia, and I'm gonna untether from Kahlo. And
For
I'm
no
gonna
reason.
say-
Sorry, you didn't make me fall. I'll go with Mizia.
Because if Mizia falls,
Clink.
their 90-pound body I can easily throw up. And I'm gonna say I'm just
Probably
gonna
smart.
hook it to their waist. If there's like a little buckle I could hook it to, and I
Aw.
say, next time you fall, I got you, huh?
Yes, yes. I like that.
Yeah. Yes. And then I'm going to pull my mask over my face again, cover my
Oh my
mouth, and
gosh.
keep walking up this horrible winter weather.
All right. I would like Whoa, just randomly throwing dice. Don't listen to the sounds of dice rolling. I'm not rolling dice for
That's so many
any
dice.
reason.
That's so many luck bones.
That was literally 2 dice.
okay. Well, it sounded.
I'm
like
rolling
more.
in a 3D printed dice tower,
Aha.
which is why it
Ooh.
sounds so.
I like it's from the future.
Cavernous.
Okay, now it's mini dice.
Hold on. Does Doc get cold?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like all of you what's the best way to do this? Yeah, I'm gonna just have you as you're climbing up the mountain. Just everybody make a stealth check.
Sure. Oh God.
I'm gonna roll with for the
Damn it.
Mining
19,
company.
the stealthiest turtle you ever
Oh my God.
And is that a disadvantage still, Jake, or no?
Technically, it would be at advantage because of the
fuck.
blowing snow.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh my god! You're fucking kidding me.
don't tell me you rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1 and a 1.
Rolled a 1.
All
I
right,
rolled
so
a 1 and a 6.
how
so
did
my
everybody
stealth is
do?
an 8. 8.
Doc got a 9.
okay, a 9, an 8,
19.
19. What'd you get, Vorn?
14.
14. And let's see how Mizia does on their.
Mizia weighs like 20 pounds. They're walking
Well-
on top of the snow.
That I forgot to mute D&D Beyond, so those were the dice rolling.
I was going to say there's.
what?
Mizia got
Some
a.
kind of like techno beat going
I
on.
forget
is
what they
fun up
are.
here.
They're related to the multiverse dice. Anyway, Mizia got a dirty 20. So
Hey.
Assyria.
Yes.
As you all are making your way, and at this point, it's probably been a good 4 hours or so on this first day that you've been traveling. The snow is still cold. The wind isn't like super heavy, but the snow is just sort of kind of blowing around and coming down pretty heavy. But at this point, you've kind of maneuvered up the road enough that you're sort of moving into the leeward side of the mountain a little bit. So you're getting less of the blowing snow and mostly just thick, heavy falling snow.
Mhm.
And you can now see a lot better as you're moving up this roadway. And you notice that about maybe 60 to 80 feet ahead and up, you see just a little momentary glimpse of what looked like a glint of red. And you see several rocks, small like pebbles and stuff, dislodge and kind of disturb the snow and just
Ooh.
up ahead of you.
We might want to be a bit more careful up ahead.
Why?
It looks like some of the rocks might be a little bit loose. And I'm worried we might deal with an avalanche.
Doc says, "No problem. I've got it. Let me lead the way." And Doc is going to pull out one of his two 10-foot poles, and he's going to begin poking the terrain ahead of them to make sure it's solid before they walk forward. And I can roll investigation if that's helpful.
Yep.
I will assist. if that will help with
Investigation,
advantage.
that'll negate the disadvantage and turn it into a straight roll.
He's going to crush a small piece of glass, and he's going to say, "You can do it." Investigation.
I love Doc's guidance so much.
You can do it.
Doc is he's poking through the snow, and his eyes sort of flash white, and all he feels is a cold rush against his face, as if there was a mistral breeze driving straight against his skin, and all he can see is fighting against this invisible force, and he hears something in the distance, a voice that he recognizes, shouting something, but the words are unintelligible to him, and he got a 24 investigation.
Doc, as you and Assyria are sort of taking point and you're poking at the snow and working your way up, and behind you are Tira and Kahlo and Vorn, Mizia, Manistrad, the Doc, the archaeologist, Rack and Crack, all bringing up the rear. You notice that after about 30 feet, you see an area where there's depressions in the snow crossing over from one side. You're just getting up to a point where the switchback sort of goes up around and starts to double back. So there is part of the road up ahead of you. And you notice that there's these depressions in the snow where the snow is filled in. And they look like several sets of footprints. You hear from up above you, "Let it loose!" And you turn and you all see, as you hear this voice yell, you see this light about this big, bright against the white, that seems to almost move in slow motion. It's maybe the size of a handball, and it's glowing and burning like fire as it comes hurtling down in your midst. And you hear the as it hits the snow.
Damn it.
As a fireball explodes in your midst. And we'll find out what happens from that fireball next week.
Oh, God. Shit.
Next
Song
week.
of Ice and Fire, bitches.
As it's been a while since we've started a session with a roll for initiative, but a fireball has been launched into the midst of all of you.
Exquisite.
So we'll figure out how that plays out. Doc and Assyria will have advantage on your dex saving throw, so make a note on that. But yeah, that was session 46.
Awesome, as always.
I think session 47 might be called Fire in the Sky.
Cool. That movie scarred me.
Fire and ice.
So yeah, thanks everybody who tuned in tonight. I believe we got raided at one point. Adventures and Initiative. Thank you for the raid. And thank you for new followers and everything. Everybody who stopped by, we greatly appreciate you. If you are somebody that likes to lurk quietly in the background, we appreciate you as well. Please stick around. I'm gonna fire off a raid since we made Tildeloo a sound canon in the story. We're gonna raid our friend Tildeloo.
Yay!
So be sure as that raid hits over there to drop your favorite emotes and let them know MTD sent you. And before we go, I do want to thank these amazing players who I'm so lucky I get to play with. And yet again, what was supposed to be just a couple episodes turning into a longer arc, but we're happy to have you with us as well, Brooke. So thank you to Gary, Brooke, Jordan, Carrie, Ricky, and even though he's not here with us, he's here with us in spirit, Dwight, without whom it would just be me talking to myself for a couple hours. With that, we are going to end the stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want.